Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Solasta. But not Crown of the Magister. No, today we are diving into the brand new expansion, The Lost Valley. This is technically their second official DLC, but the first one, Primal Calling, which we are also using, just added new character build options. This is the first full-length campaign that's been added since the original Crown of the Magister campaign, and I am all for that. From what I understand, this should be a full-length tactical campaign, running a party of 4 from level 1 to 12, and lasting about 25 to 30 hours, something in that range, whilst simultaneously being much more open-world in its approach than Crown of the Magister was, with much more focus on factional mechanics that lead towards multiple branching ending paths, so much more replayability. I'm all for that as well. Oh, also worth noting, they added official co-op multiplayer support. I guess I kind of buried the lead on that, but yeah, you and up to 3 friends can now share the Solasta experience as each of you takes control of 1 or more party members, both in the new campaign and in the original one, as well as a growing assortment of fan-made dungeons. Anyway, let's get into this thing. Special thanks to the Raiders for the usual Raider stuff, and special thanks to Tactical Adventures for providing me with codes for both Primal Calling and Lost Valley, which I am happy to make use of. And of course, I strongly encourage y'all to go check them out yourself as well. Lost Valley hits on April 14th, and for the first full week after that, they'll be selling both the core game and the first DLC at hefty discounts. Let's get started.
While the Principality of Masgarth is preparing for war, business is thriving in the Marches. As more Legacy Council agents travel to Copperan, Gala Goldentongue's route expands and his profits increase. The master merchant hired adventurers to escort his caravan.
One day, at one of Galar's usual camping spots near Copperan, a group of wounded travelers seeks hospitality, bringing the promise of adventure to our hero's routine journey. Very exciting.
Does this happen often? Wounded strangers setting camp near the caravan?
Oh yes. These sites are well known to all who travel in the marches. Sadly, they're not here for shopping.
Do you know them?
Well, the lady is from the Legacy Council in Caerkifnen. The man here is Lord Ammond, also from the capital. I spoke with a half-elf briefly. Her name is Leroynukenson. They're looking for someone. Apparently, they were 10 strong. Then they met a bunch of orcs. I'm sure the lady can tell you more.
Why don't you do it?
It's a strategy. You'll see.
Okay, you're the boss.
A bit of an abrupt and lackluster start to our grand new adventure, but I'm into it. As much as I did like the tavern-side tail-spinning tutorial from the original Crown of the Magister campaign, I understand that it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It was fun to go through the first time, but then you had this whole extended 4-part tutorial every time you wanted to start a new playthrough or try a new party build. So yeah, this is much more expedient. Lends itself much more to the replayability aspect of things. A few quick notes. The brief opening cinematic does firmly establish this takes place after the original campaign, so our original party is still out there somewhere. They've just got their hands full with the impending war set off by the events of that first campaign. Hence our new merry band of murder hobos, who we'll get to in just a moment. Second, we are seeing some returning characters here, albeit minor ones. I'm not sure about Lady Fairblade, but Lord Hammond there was in the first game. He was one of the many, many characters we met during our work with the Legacy Council. And then Galar Goldtongue here was also present in the event surrounding the infiltration of Copperan. I'm being deliberately vague on the details for folks who haven't actually played Crown of the Magister, but his appearance did inadvertently lead to the discovery of a grand conspiracy. Good to see he's still kicking around, though his presence at the beginning of a grand new adventure does not bode well for him. That said, let's have a quick gander at our party roster, and then we'll start kicking events into motion. I am going to try to keep this relatively brief. I've got a rambling blog post I'll link to below that goes a bit more in-depth into my off-kilter design process for these guys. But suffice to say, these were all character concepts that were loosely proposed by the raiders, and I rolled a lot of dice to determine which ones made it in. The results are a little chaotic, but it should be workable and interesting, I hope. Let's have a look. First up, we've got Ebon Antlerbuck, High Elf Fighter, destined for the Spellblade path. Now, I have heard a lot of bad things about the Spellblade path, but I wanted to try it, and my initial testing actually got some pretty promising results. Because it is essentially a hybrid class, I did make the interesting decision of going heavy on intelligence, with Con and Strength as somewhat secondary for now, but I am hedging my bets on finding a strength boosting item fairly quickly. There were like 4 of them in Crown of the Magister. And because he is a high elf, he also has Flame Bolt to fall back on until he does. Now, given that he does inexplicably have the highest intelligence in the party, I went ahead and leaned into that. He has the academic background and a bevy of intelligence-based skills. He's the party's primary enchanter, and he can also fake it with potions. I originally had him going sword and board, but it turns out he needs a hand free to actually cast spells, so that plan went out the window. That meant it was either Great Weapon or Duelist, and I went Great Weapon. As a Spellblade, he will eventually be able to cast even if both his hands are full, but that just comes so late into the campaign. I just didn't want to deal with the hassle of having to dance around somatic components for the first 12 or 15 hours. Great Weapons keeps it simple. Ultimately, our goal with him is to turn him into a teleporting, magically empowered Arcaniac dancing across the battlefield. Full plate, 4 attacks around, telekinetically pushing people with his eyeballs. Initial test results were positive, so it should be a lot of fun. It'll just take a few levels before we actually get there. Of course, since we need a slightly more reliable frontliner to lean on until that happens, meet Thygor, half-orc barbarian, and destined follower of the Path of Stone. Original plans with him were to just make him a very generic orc smash sort of half-orc barbarian template. But once I got weird with Ebon Antlerbuck, Thygor changed to follow suit. He is now a sword and board barbarian tank, which is a bit counterintuitive to me, but actually ended up working out shockingly well. Raging isn't actually all that impressive, offensively speaking, in 5th edition. It seems to have been hit pretty hard with the nerf or balance hammer. But with Path of Stone, he gains ablative hit points every round while he's raging, which makes him a living sandbag. And then at higher levels, he'll also be able to use his con bonus for all of his mental saves, and way down the line, he'll also gain bonus AC for every opponent he's facing in melee combat. So yeah, paired with half plate, which we do not yet have, and a sturdy shield, he should be a nice, solid tank. Damage output is a little lower than I'd like, but with Savage Blow, he should still be able to ruthlessly dispatch foes who have been compromised by our resident caster. Which brings us to Mora Deepwood, our half-sylvan sorceress, with the Child of the Rift subclass. Of course, given that we have no conventional rogue in our party, she's also doubling up on that. With charisma and dexterity, she is essentially our street-walking cheetah with a heart full of napalm and our runaway son of the nuclear A-bomb. The very bare-bones version of the madness I have wrought here is that we're going to be leaning her heavily into reflexive defensive casts and single-target debuff or support spells. Metamagic of choice is going to be Twin Spell and Heightened Spell, with, I think, a little Empowered on the side for extra damage potential. I will say that Quickened was tempting, but in actual testing, I rarely ended up using it. It's too expensive and the benefits are relatively minor. Twin Spell is just a much better investment. One thing I had great success with her was twin or multicasting Hold Person to paralyze entire groups of enemies. That actually ended up pairing really well with Thygor's Savage Blow class ability, which adds additional dice to his crit damage, and you automatically crit against enemies who are paralyzed or sleeping. So he can quickly and ruthlessly dispatch anyone who has fallen sway to Mora's sorceress charms. Hey, Kaiser. One sec, let me go wrangle old One Fang. Sorry about that. Back. Kaiser's chilling out next to me now, so we're good. Which brings us to Garvin Kingsley, our group's requisite healer, and the character who went through the most changes during my early testing. Ultimately, I think we ended up with a fairly standard druid, though one focused on melee support and I think divine blasting. Once we hit level 5 and pick up Call Lightning, which is hands down my favorite druid spell. Early on, he'll be a little all over the place. He can help out in combat with Shillelagh and Thornspike, as well as healing and entangle and so forth. Hey, Layla. But once he hits level 5 and picks up Call Lightning, it'll be lightning all day, every day. He will literally call down the thunder. Though it's the electricity you have to watch out for. Don't need that. And we will be going Circle of the Kindred Spirit style. Originally I was going to go Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai, for that extra +1 AC. But it kept getting caught up on every single terrain feature, so I ended up switching off to Ghost Eagle, which can fly around those terrain features. Spirit Eagle is a bit of a mouthful, so I will call it Spike Spiegel for short, which isn't actually shorter, but does amuse me. That will provide some modest extra chip damage on the battlefield, but its more notable function is as a mobile hit point battery for Garvin to tap into at later levels. It also grants him a whopping +3 to his initiative rolls, which is certainly nothing to sneeze at. A single well-placed entangle spell can make or break some of these early encounters. And that is it. That is our entire assortment of eclectic adventurers. Will they get the job done? I'm going to go with a strong maybe, but I am hoping they will be very entertaining nonetheless. But, you know, only one way to find out, so let's get into this. After I feed the cats, I think it might be about that time. And we're back. The Clouder is fed and or distracted, so let's do adventure stuff before they descend upon us once more. Ma'am?
Clear skies, my lady.
What do you want?
Just introducing ourselves.
I'm Helia Fairblade, Senior Deputy of the Legacy Council.
Do you need equipment? Master Galar has everything you need.
Do you think we came here empty-handed?
Hey, and look at that. Garvin already contributing. He's bad with people, but good at reading them. And we leave it to Mora to sway them.
No, but you might miss one or two things that are going to make a difference.
Fine. I'll check out the store. Anything else?
Who's the man you're looking for?
His name is Merrin Ving. He was presumed to be dead. But recently, Copperan opened a diplomatic channel with Caer Kifling. We heard that Ving was here recently, buying food rations from Master Golden Tongue.
Who's he?
I'm not at liberty to say more. My apologies.
Fine.
Anything else?
No, we should go.
So obviously we still have full party voice acting, which, you know, it's rough around the edges, but I actually like it. I feel like it adds to the game's overall charm. I've also been informed that it apparently has less overall dialogue, with more focus put on exploration and tactical combat, which I'm just fine with.
Clear skies, my lord.
What is it?
Anything you need from the store?
I'm not here to shop.
Then what are you here for?
Looking for this damn Marin Ving. He was here. You may have seen him.
We knew, so probably not.
Well, he's a ruffian, and he has a debt of honor.
Very well. We will find him, never fear.
I have no doubt.
Stay in the light.
Ah, you're here.
Master Golden Tongue tells me you're good people. As you've heard, my expedition is short-handed.
Lost 6, we heard.
Unfortunate. If you join my search party, I'd pay well. 5 gold pieces a day, each. 25 up front. I need Marin Ving found, and we know he was here. It was a while ago, but if we're careful, we can pick up his tracks.
Yeah, 100 gold's not going to get us very far. We could actually use equipment.
Gold is no use to us here. We need better equipment.
I don't have much, but our fallen comrades had some things.
Oh, I see. It's all low-grade consumables. I was hoping for actual gear, but yeah, we'll stick with the gold.
We'll take the gold.
Excellent. I moved the barrier. I believe this is a good place to start.
See you around.
Thygor getting a bit more casual there since his first line. I do wish they had more varied voice sets, but that is the price you pay for full voice acting. Miss Catpaw? Love the name, by the way.
Don't even try to sell me your stuff.
Why not?
I know Galar's jacking his prices up because we're on the road.
You're in the business?
No, I joined the party hoping to find some historical treasures.
Garvin's powers of perception have failed him. But we do have an academic option here. A background-specific option. Interesting. Yeah, let's see what that gets us.
Oh, this place is full of history.
Right? Have you seen anything?
I'm pretty sure if we get off the road, we'll find some antiques.
Well, if you do, I might be interested in buying.
We'll keep that in mind.
Stay in the light.
Nice, okay, so we picked up an optional side quest from that. I wonder if that's how they handle background quests in the new expansion.
Tell me if you find anything of interest.
I haven't had much of a chance to really explore that yet. Crimson Sail. Name plus 2 words. Very fantasy standard.
Clear skies.
Hi there. Name's Crimson Sail. You're working for the merchant. Escort?
Yes.
The marches are a good place to gain some experience, or to get killed.
Well, you're here.
Sure, there's money to be made. A debt to collect from this guy, Ving.
What if he's dead?
We'll see.
Come on, Garvin, I'm going to need you to roll slightly higher than that. But we do have another background option. Interesting. So let's see what that does. If this is another optional side quest, then we'll also have to keep an eye out for mercenary or wanderer side quests.
There's more about him.
Ha! Am I so easy to read?
Can't fool me, brother.
He has a diamond instead of a tooth, I hear. Not easy to see in the back of the mouth.
So even if he's dead, there's money to make?
Yep.
Thanks. See you around.
Yep.
I'm not sure where that accent came from, but okay. So no quest, but we do now know that we can find a diamond inside this Ving guy's likely corpse.
Anything new?
Nope, I think we're good. And it looks like Galar has gone full-on merchant mode. But I've already taken care of our initial setup, so we should be fine. It is tempting to grab some scale mail for Thygor, but I'm really hoping we'll find something once we start poking around. Save ourselves that starting cash. Oh, but you know what we should grab is some alternate spell foci. Eben doesn't need one yet, but he will soon. Plus, it's always good to have some options once you inevitably start juggling slots to make room for magic items. Just trying to think of what slots we're likely to run into. Yeah, this should be fine. Alright, adventure awaits. But not that way. That's apparently the direction we came from. So we will instead jump off this cliff. Okay, that does seem like a promising way to start our fledgling adventure.
That's a bunch of footprints. More than just one man.
Eben, that is 6 footprints. I believe that is less than you would expect from one man. I'm getting flashbacks to the Cliffs of Instant Death from early Crown of the Magister. So we did have more footprints. I apologize, Eben. I will be 8% less snarky moving forward. But only towards you. Humanoid skeleton at the bottom of a very weird-looking cliff.
This is all falling apart. Let's take a souvenir.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's for, Leyrin Catpaw, right. A piece of marble of Termarian origin, as the damaged writings prove. So we need 2 more of these things. Alright, let's check out this cliff. Oh, I see. Okay. So if we had stepped on that, we would have fallen and taken damage. But thanks to our powers of perception, we did not. And our reward is a pile of garbage. I mean, we'll still take it. We are but novice adventurers. We'll take what we can get. Though if I'd realized I was going to find a shield 5 seconds out of the starting gate, I wouldn't have bought one from Gold Tongue. Okay, what awaits us in the cavernous maw? Right off the bat, we've got another antiquity. And let's get lights up. Technically, we don't need this. All of our characters can see in the dark. But, you know, it is nice to be able to actually see what you're looking at, so.
What's your step?
I'll try to keep lights up when it is practical to do so.
This looks familiar.
Given that this game does use light mechanics for stealth, I look forward to that inevitably coming back to bite me. I am hating these instant death cliffs. Every one of them makes me nervous. I still remember back in the Crown of the Magister beta, when low-level enemies would gleefully push you to your death. Which apparently got so much negative feedback, they eventually added guardrails to a lot of those early encounters. No guardrails this time. That does make me leery. We're seeing a lot of interactive stalactites. That does imply we're going to get into a fight here.
Looks mana cannon, but not.
Green Book. This notebook is written in code. It might have belonged to Marin Ving.
Look at this.
Someone built a fire here.
That someone wanted to rest here, but had to leave in a hurry.
Did you hear that?
No. I mean, yes. Wow, that thing snuck right up on us. That is very unfortunate placement. Help. That's not helping.
A modest success.
Okay, okay. So far, so good. Let's get more out of there.
Solasta, Evo, Malmis. Wait till the next one.
A truly shocking success. And what the heck, let's shillelagh into him.
Natura muto viribe.
Nice, nice.
No quarter given.
Unbearable.
Solasta, Evo, Malmis. You lose.
Wow, yeah, he really did lose. That went completely our way. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get mage armor up. I probably should have done that beforehand. That could have gone a whole lot worse, but we pelted him good. And apparently Krim has eyes for that pelt, so I guess that's it for our initial sojourn. That was quick. Oh, and we also had another scroll in here. Ah, just vendor trash. Yeah, the intro segment does feel a bit rushed, but I get it. As aforementioned, there was a lot of negative feedback about the excessively lengthy intro for the Crown of the Magister campaign. So it does make sense that they would really want to sort of rush through the intro segment of the new campaign and get you right into the meat of the adventure. That makes it a bit more palatable to try different party builds and multiple playthroughs. But I will keep an eye out for extra hidden bonus loot. I guess we'll turn this stuff in.
Looks like you brought me some.
Multiple items. Actually, they seem connected.
By all the gods! Thanks a lot. This makes my day! Here, take this. I have no use for it, but maybe you will.
Thank you. Stay in the light, friend.
Cool, cool. So, what did we get? Oh, antitoxin. Okay. That seems like something you might want to hold on to, but I am happy to take it off your hands. Oh, and I guess we do have a use for this shield. Okay, let us go, hide with Crim Sunsail.
Hey, I heard you killed a bear in there. You wouldn't happen to have its pelt with you?
Why?
I got this crafting project. Boots. I need a brown bear's pelt.
Crafting project, you say? Do tell.
What are you crafting?
Boots of the Winterland.
Unexpectedly fancy. I, too, would like Boots of the Winterland.
We'll take the recipe.
Works for me.
Neat. So now we just need to go kill more bears. And also find an emerald and a minor shard of ice. Which might actually not be worth it. I'm just now remembering that we are capped at just 3 attuned magic items. Definitely not one of my favored parts of 5th edition. I feel like it takes a lot of fun away from the whole looting aspect of the game.
Find me Ving, and I'll reward you.
So, what do you have for me?
We found an abandoned camp. And this.
This belongs to Marin Ving. Excellent work. Rest now. We'll search the area carefully in the morning. We need to know where he went. Team up with my people if you like.
We'll keep that in mind.
See you around.
Oh, right. Okay, I guess we are level 2. That was quick. Though to be fair, I think Crown of the Magister also had you hit level 2 right after the tutorial. So yeah, let's get ourselves buffed up. Level ups in 5th edition are incredibly straightforward, so this should just take a moment. Let me just rustle up my notes here. Now, I do have some general idea of what we're doing here, but, as always, feedback is welcome. I do set saves, just in case I want to go back and change something. Oh, yeah, we don't even get a choice with Eben. He gets hit points, he gets action surge, both useful. But we won't make any real choices until level 3, at which point he will become a Spellblade. Oh, that also reminds me, he does have great weapon training. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. That lets him reroll 1s and 2s on great weapon damage. Igor gets even more hit points, always nice. Plus reckless attack, which I'm not a big fan of. Advantage on attacks is huge, but you're also giving your opponents advantage, which is less great. I could see using it for executions, though, because that's how you want your executions. Reckless. And then Danger Sense is slightly more useful. Advantage on all dex-based savings throws. We'll get a lot more useful stuff on him once we start stacking levels. There is a lot to look forward to. Garvin also gets hit points, and his Druid Circle, which, as we've established, is going to be the spirit thing. That'll net us our Spiegel. We also get a spell slot and Wild Shape, which I don't really mess with. I guess I should give that a closer look. At a glance, it really just felt like it made him weaker. Yes, and as for Druid Circle, we're going for Circle of the Kindred Spirit. Though I will say, Lost Valley did come with a whole boatload of new subclass options. I just didn't end up building with any of those. Though the Dragon Bloodline on Barbarians was tempting. As for our spirit animal, as established, we are going for Spirit Eagle. Though Bear and Wolf were both tempting, they just weren't practical from a mobility standpoint. The only real downside here is that at this low a level, Spiegel is going to be more of a liability than a help. He's only going to have about 10 hit points, and if he drops, then Garvin gets stunned and takes massive damage, which right now is essentially a death sentence, so we might not spawn Spiegel in until a bit later down the line. Oh, I'll also say that Spirit Viper was tempting. They have that listed as flying as well, which is, odd. But ultimately it boiled down to the bonuses they offered. In the end, I just felt like +3 initiative outweighed +1 movement. Especially once we hit level 5 and start leaning into Call Lightning. Sorry, just having second thoughts all of a sudden. Well, more like 12th thoughts. But yeah, we'll stick with Spiegel. And then, of course, at higher levels, at 6 and 10, we'll start seeing that hit point battery stuff come into play. Early on, it's not a big deal, but once he hits level 10, it's kind of like the Oradin concept from Pathfinder. The idea here being that at level 10, Garvin and Spiegel can split any damage they suffer with each other, and then Garvin can heal both of them by just healing himself. Now we just need to set his new slot real quick. Oh, right, we do not want Fog Cloud. Yeah, we'll get much more use out of Goodberry, I think. That one provides low-end healing, but more notably, it means we'll basically never have to carry rations again. And that brings us to Mora, who gets a new spell and some assorted new class powers. Metamagic is the big one. That's what she's hitting at level 3. I think we'll go for Twinned and Empowered first. And then it'll be a while before we have to worry about her third one. And in the short term, she also picks up that Rift Deflection ability, which is handy for emergencies. I forgot she has flexible casting. I never used that in my testing. As for her new spell, we're going to stick with her theme as outlined earlier. I'm pretty happy with her starting spells right now, but we get one more slot to play with. So we will take Sleep. That's one that won't scale well once we get past level 4 or 5. But I figure we can just swap it out at that point and pick up something slightly more useful. But yeah, that should be it for level ups. Feel free to let me know what you guys think. I am happy to listen to feedback, and will fight you on every decision. So now what? Oh, we get an NPC follower. That's fun. So we can choose from Hammond, who's either a fighter or a paladin. Crim Sunsail, who's a ranger? Or Catpaw, who's probably a rogue, given that name. And given that she's the only one who has dark vision, I think that makes our choice for us.
Why not? I'll tag along.
Cool. Loving that enthusiasm. So is it just one?
I'm sharpening my blade.
Aw, yeah, I guess so. So what are you? Yeah, I'm gonna say rogue. A caster would not be rocking +7 to hit with a dagger. Also, I guess they would have spells. Yeah, I probably should have led with that. Alright, let's get armor up. And I guess that's it for now. Oh, no, let's get lights up too. Again, we technically don't need this, and it will make it harder to sneak, but it will be nice for our human eyeballs. Us, the viewers, not our gaggle of weird fantasy folk. Let's just hope it doesn't help Marvin Ving or the Merovingian or whatever his name was spot us on approach. Oh, here we go. Ah, I see. Okay, I think we're clear in here. Let me just pop around real quick. Yeah, seems clear. Let us proceed. Subtle. They'll never hear us coming. Maybe the light wasn't our biggest concern.
More footprints.
Oh, I guess we're fine. We've got a map transition.
We can't go back.
That's probably fine, and not at all an ill omen of what's to come. Pretty creepy. Let's lighten up a little. That's a marginal improvement. We can see a skeleton now. That's good. Not at all foreboding. Are these eggs around us? Because if so, that is concerning. Oh, hey, breastplate. We'll take that. Huzzah! Looking good, Thygor. Though, I will miss the parachute pants. That's an immediate 2-point bump on his AC. Though we do still want to upgrade to half plate as soon as possible. Yeah, nothing else of note. We'll just grab the rest of this stuff as sales fodder.
I think that's just 2 people now.
Oh, really? So this guy just recently passed through and is now a skeleton. That's great. Not weird at all. Time does make skeletons of us all. Some much sooner than others. What is this? That is not a door.
Easy.
Oh, it's bug goo. That is well beyond our range. That would be like a boss at our current level. Okay, well, I guess that does in fact answer whether or not these are eggs. Emphatic yes.
Wait, Redeemers? We don't stand a chance.
Maybe we can find a way around and return to the camp.
Oh no, those are zealots. That's even worse than pilgrims. But we do have pilgrims too, so that's cool. And they did in fact tag them all as bosses. Smartasses. Well, on the bright side, we've got an obvious path ahead of us. We've got 2 buttons on the floor and 1 on the wall. Go away. Go away. Not you, Kaiser. Oh, so what's this?
That was simplicity.
Oh, everyone, back away. Oh, back away, please. Please. Turns out the thing on the wall was our death. And I really should have seen it coming. You know what, maybe we can take this thing down. It is just 1 level 4 solo elite.
Of course you've been detected.
We will give it a shot.
clumsy.
Solasta,
Oh. I thought it was gonna come past our fighters. Resistant to slashing damage.
I won't miss next time.
Okay, we need to wait for Mora to zap this thing.
Natura muto viribe.
You won! Congratulations.
You suck.
Garvin, buddy, you really have no room to criticize right now.
Solasta, Evo, Malmis.
Yes, yes, fall back. But not too far. We don't know what else is here.
Deal with it.
And that's our healer. Well, I mean, we're in it, so we'll go down fighting.
You have them now.
Solasta, Evo, Malmis.
Hey, nice. Procced Rift Magic. Didn't land a hit, but at least it didn't spend a slot. Oh, then they all got eaten by bugs. Fair enough. As a wise man once said, time makes skeletons of us all. Some sooner than others. That said, we are past time, so this may be a good place to call it. I'll go ahead and get this thing packed up and edit it into a proper episode, and then get to work on our redemption arc. This fledgling band of folk heroes may have met their grim fate in these bug-infested tunnels, but that's nothing a little retcon can't fix. We'll hit the pause button for now. I will roll back to our previous quick save and roll us back right up to this point for next time. Maybe without the giant glowing orb of magic light floating above our heads. Man, you know, I did think that was going to come back to bite us. I just didn't realize it was going to be this fast. That's what I get for underestimating the speed of light. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Solasta, Lost Valley, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. As always, links are in the description.
Why not? I'll tag along.